Hello, everybody. Welcome. It's been a while. We are back from our summer vacation hiatus, shall we say, and we're going into year 6, I believe, or darn near close to year 6. Yeah, I think it was 2019 when we started the stream. David will be with us shortly. We didn't fully vet out the timing of this, and so it's all good. So hopefully everyone had a lovely summer, and everyone has been getting out, enjoying some fresh air, maybe staying inside and doing some 3D printing or design and whatnot. But I hope you all had a wonderful time. I know a few of our patrons have been posting in the Discord some of the stuff they've been doing on their new printer, and man, oh man, Dominic has been going crazy with his new printer and has some really awesome looking projects that he's been doing. They look fabulous. They're different Christmas presents, I think, or that he's been setting up, and but he's been really just enjoying his new printer. I think it was the QDI, or was it QDI, and he got the QDI box with the multicolor, and I think he's been starting with that one as well. So he's been doing lots of cool stuff and whatnot. I haven't doing a ton of printing. There was lots of honey-do list stuff to do this summer, and when it's warm out, I can actually do some other things in my garage, which is not insulated, and we're in Canada, so it can get kind of cold in the winter, so I can't do all my woodworking projects that I like to do, and so I had to do them in the summer. So I was doing that. What else did I do this summer? We did a bunch of housework on the exterior, getting it up to speed and getting it, maintaining everything. Yeah, lots of kid stuff, all that kind of stuff. So that's kind of a catch up on what my summer went, and when David gets here, we can catch up on what he did. But in the meantime, I thought we would talk some news while we're waiting for David. All right, so Marlin has had a developer release, 2.1.3. So if you're still using Marlin, there's been some patches there. Kira is on beta release now of 1.1.0. So if you're still using Kira, I haven't used it in quite some time, but if you are, that's the new release there. Prusa 2.9.3 is out. So if you are a Prusa user, and I occasionally still use Prusa, 2.9.3 is available. Bamboo Studio 2.2.2 is the latest one, and has all the support for all their new printers, the H2D, the H2S. So yeah, if you have any of those, support's there, and all the new features are there as well. Orca Slicer, we are up to 2.3.1. That was just released officially about 10 hours ago. So if you, a lot of people use Orca for their Prusa printers, and it works really well, and it's up to date, 2.3.1. Haven't gone over all the changes, but it looks a lot of bug fixes and whatnot. So Super Slicer, if you're interested, is still around. Clipper, not many updates for that over the summer. Fluid did have an update, So if you are a Clipper fan, some people use Mainsail. I use Fluid. Mainsail hasn't had an update in a while. I think their last update was about 5 months ago. Fluid had an update 28 days ago, just last month in September, and it's at 1.3.4.4. And it added MMU feature support, so for some additional UI and whatnot. So if other than that, that's kind of the slicing news. But 3D printing. So lots of stuff has happened over the summer in 3D printing. Bamboo released their H2S, which everyone knew about the H2D. The H2S basically is a single nozzle version of that. Other tweaks on it and whatnot. Still has the vinyl cutter in it. Still can have the laser. I think it would be nice to have, a big printer like that from Bamboo that just was a printer. It's one thing to, put the cutter thing on just so it can roll around, but I think I think David has a mind for this too. The device should do a task. It shouldn't do every task. I know there's other companies like Snapmaker and whatnot that have these multimodal or whatever devices that do all of the things. And I want a really good 3D printer and a really good laser cutter and a really good vinyl printer, but they don't have to be in the same device because there are compromises. Like when the H2D first came out, they noticed that it gums up inside with the fumes and whatnot, and you got to clean everything. Well, you're cutting stuff, you're burning stuff. That's what's going to happen, right? So it's cool, but I don't think I'd pay extra for that. I would want a separate device, even though a separate device might cost me a little more. I get more flexibility, and I'm not tying up my one device specifically for laser cutting when I want to be printing something. Sometimes you want to do both. So I can understand maybe a hobbyist that doesn't have room for multiple devices. Okay, kind of makes sense. But I do think that a device should be really good at what it does, and it shouldn't do all things. But we'll get David's opinion on that a little later too. Other news. Let's see what's going on here. There was something else that jumped out at me. There's been a number of new printers out here. One of our suppliers just finally got their new print spools in. They've redesigned them. They're a little bit shorter and a little bit narrower. They fit AMS way better. The old ones, you'd have to print an adapter to kind of lift the AMS up a little bit so that it wouldn't scrape the top. So that's great. That's Spool 3D that we buy a bunch of our filament of, and they're a local Alberta company. So we try to help them out whenever we can and purchase locally. But yeah, so it's kind of nice. It more universally fits all the new stuff. I think originally spools were, based off of like welding spools and whatnot, for the most part. So it's good that they've kind of slowly evolved. Now we've got RFID in them, so you can now detect what filament you put in a printer and whatnot. It'd be nice if that was standardized so that you could weren't proprietary to a single brand. Um, if I get a Corality spool and I stick it in a bamboo, that it would actually recognize it. That'd be great if there was like, um, some sort of database that for all the RFID, or maybe a standard, so that the codes um, for the RFID were set up in a way that you would be able to um, recognize them and use them appropriately for multiple devices. That would be great. So, Bamboo, Creality, get together. David's working on it. He's just having issues getting his cameras going, but we'll keep going here. He'll get here eventually. It's not a big deal. Yeah. So we got in at work the what is it? The Creality. Is it H1 or high? The Creality High. That's what it is. H1 High. The Creality High with AMS. That's a slick little printer. It sets up really easy. We went through the wizard and everything. And yeah, the High really, really worked really well. We're thinking some of you know we run workshops for teachers and whatnot. We're thinking that might be a all right option, because then they get multicolored printing. It's quiet. It's fairly fast. Obviously, it's not Core XY fast, but it's pretty good. And then David also threw in chat there the K2 Plus combo. We also got in. We set that up the other day as well. That's a big printer. it's not light either. It's fairly substantial in its weight. Setup wizard was pretty straightforward. It has nice. They moved the screen up top from down below for the K1 series. It was in the bottom right. Now it's in the top right. Screen and wizard and everything was very straightforward. They have got these, both the High and the K2, now that they're running Clipper and everything. They've really refined on the build quality of these things. Awesome. It's not as kind of open build yourself quality anymore, where if you build it wrong, they don't work. They come out of the box. In the High, I believe David and someone else set it up. There was like 4 screws to get the uprights in, and away you go. And then the beds now, it's so much better now that they're hard mounted. They calibrate very well. There's not the hassle of leveling. Like, someone can pull it out of the box and be printing within half hour, 20 minutes, and away you go. Like, that's great, because now people can not be necessarily, because that was one of the biggest hurdle, is not everyone is super technical. Like David and I, we're fine nerding out on loading Clipper, loading Marlin, compiling, adjusting firmware and whatnot. I mean, that's one of the things we started with this channel, right? So is doing that kind of stuff, and exploring how to properly get your gantry squared up on your V-wheeled gantry and whatnot, and all those tweakingness are gone. Hey Gary, which, if you like modding and whatnot, that's kind of sad. But if you are a maker and just want to produce stuff and iterate and whatnot, this is fantastic. It yes, it commoditizes them and whatnot, but the easier we can make these devices work, the better for the community and better for the industry, because more and more people will use them, and the innovation will get there. Um, David and I were chatting the other day how, you know, Creality really got the ball rolling on the mass production of printers with the, you know, the Ender series, right? And the CR, it started with CR10 and then really got popular with the Ender when they really reduced the price and got it into the hands of people. And then you know, Voron started popularizing the Core XY and really started pushing the limits there. And then Bamboo jumps on the scene and really takes the Core XY and refines it to a state where everyone can really benefit from the very exact engineering and machining and design. So they really refined that. And then that pushed Creality to up their game and realize that they can't just pump these out. They need to really, you know, look at what other people are doing and make sure that their printer can exceed or meet what everyone else is doing. And they've stepped it up again with the new K2 series. The K1 was good, and they iterated quite a bit on it. I know David has a K1C, and a few of our other colleagues have them, and they've even, you know, updated to the multicolor CMS kit that they did in it. But then the K2 just steps it up one more. So it's nice to see the evolution. Now, I do also like the fact that Creality hasn't done what Bamboo has. They haven't like you know, put everything. David's asking where's the link. David, it's in Discord and in Teams. So yeah, so they've really taken the designs and whatnot, and they kept a printer. They haven't integrated everything in, and I hope they don't. I hope they keep, because they have a good. Believe David has one of the Crowley laser cutters, and I think they need to keep them separate because they are separate devices. So yeah, but those are my opinions. David's almost here. I think he's just getting the link. I sent it in Discord and I sent it in Teams. So hopefully he'll get it right away here. Yeah, other than that, Gary, what have you been up to? Have you been printing lots? I know Gary's in chat here this morning, and I can't remember what kind of printers you're running, Gary. It escapes me at the moment. What else? We've got the H2 or K2 Plus combo at work, yeah, and both printers have been down just. Oh, there, David just joined here. Hold on. I'm waiting for his camera to come up. Oh, not quite up. He's almost there. I don't know if you can hear us, David, but we can kind of see you.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. There's no camera yet.
No, this is how things work. This
Okay. Well, I love your new look. It's
time.
very textual.
David joined.
It's funny. I don't even know what's going on here, so should be getting video.
Well, I got the Elgato, no signal.
I
That's what I
mean,
got.
considering how it's set to not that input is not a good start.
I had to go to the little arrow on my video and toggle because it kept wanting to go to a different camera. It was really annoying.
Yeah, I have one camera, and the camera's in use by the other thing, so it needs to do it this way. Cameras. Hi, everybody.
Uh,
Reality. Hi, everybody. Yeah. How are you, Greg? You good?
I'm good, David. I'm good. Gary was asking what we're using right now. We're using Streamlabs. Gary was asking what we're using right now. I'm hearing myself from you for some reason,
Chat.
but I think that's back. Yeah, Streamlabs Studio, Talk Studio. We're doing temporarily this morning. We haven't done this in a while, so this was the quickest, easiest way to get us up and running and be able to stream. And then we'll tweak stuff later. We are revamping a few things and whatnot. David, are you still there?
Right here.
Okay.
No camera yet.
You're very soft. That's why I wasn't sure. You must be moving around to try to get things working.
Well, I got video. It's just not going to the browser.
Oh, is it one of those authorization? Well, but it says Elgato. It's getting something.
Yeah, like it's working.
Weird.
Looks like your camera is locked by another program. Stop all secondary cameras.
Well, you could disconnect and reconnect, maybe. I don't know. Well, they can still hear you, so that's good. Yeah. So I don't know if you heard any of my ramblings.
Some.
Went over a bit of the news, talked a little bit about the high and whatnot, and then your thoughts on like I think we're in agreement that a printer should be a printer and not a printer and 5 other things. It shouldn't make cakes and everything else.
Oh Lord, yes, yeah. Like the new Bamboo Lab stuff is annoying because it like what was that one? The Snap brand or Snap Maker.
And speaking of news, Snapmaker just hit the largest Kickstarter of all time because they're doing another one. They're doing they're copying the bamboo now. Like
they made it. So here's the thing, like we talked about that printer a long time ago, and like my opinions on printers of that nature have not changed. Like if you're gonna I think you said it, but like if you're gonna be a printer, be a printer. If you're gonna be a CNC, be a CNC. 3D printers rely on fast movement, and lasers rely on making dust and ash and smoke.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, they're incinerating stuff. That's the whole point, right?
So they're very, very different when you compare them to what a 3D printer does, lasers, or even CNCs. CNCs, they need torque and they need power to push through. So oftentimes you will find larger steppers, servos, what have you, on CNCs than you would. Because as it turns out, when a spindle is spinning at 12,000 RPM, gotta push the thing a little bit. So,
yeah,
and we're getting Like, and we're getting really good printers. Out
Oh,
there now.
I agree. Like the quality, just build
Pop-
quality in general of all of them. I don't care if you're a bamboo, if you're a creality, um, the quality of the builds has gone up 10 times in the last, like an order of magnitude better.
Yeah.
Like, it just has. Um, and which is great for the end user, right?
There.
There we are. And you're now in your lounge.
I got a weird face. Hold on. See if we can fix this.
It looks good.
Hi.
Hey, we can see David now. Yeah, so yeah, the build quality so much better. So much better. But like, you have other products. You have like the Crowley laser, right? You have one, I can't remember which one
I
it
have
is.
2 lasers. So we have the Falcon
Yeah,
laser.
that's the one I was thinking of.
We have the original Falcon Pro. So we also chose the 25 watt.
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
That one's
laser.
LED, right?
Yeah. And then our
Right.
other one, I can't remember the brand.
Did you get a
K20.
CO2?
Yeah. So we have a K20 or a K. It's a K something. Hold on.
But
CO2
I
laser.
mean, you need ventilation, right?
Yeah.
You've got a grid. Typically, depending on your setup, you might have a counter, but a lot of times you'll have a metal grid that you put your uh medium that you're cutting on, and yeah, you're making a mess when you're cutting. Like, it's very clean cuts, but you've got the off gassing, you've got, you got to deal with ventilation or filtering, depending on if you can go directly out of the building you're in.
Mhm.
It's and then just the off gassing will coat everything inside the device, right? You probably have to clean your lenses.
Oh yes, you have to clean the lenses every so often, and you like you get used to when you have to because it doesn't cut right.
Yeah.
The cuts get fuzzy.
Yeah.
Um, but
Yeah,
like, and
so
then
that
like a
makes
CO2
total
laser,
sense.
you have to have water
Yeah.
or a coolant. You have to have that coolant has to be clean. The surface is completely different from what you would need. Like, for example, like the P1S, the X series, X1C and E's, K1, K1C, K2, K2 plus, all those printers, they need a desk that doesn't move.
Oh,
Right.
absolutely. I mean,
Whereas,
they do have like the compensation and whatnot to calibrate for whatever desk you
oh
put it on,
yeah, for sure they
but
do. But
but
something
you,
solid that is
yeah, you
better.
don't want to put it on springs.
And and like with the laser, not that I would recommend it, but like for the Falcon, it doesn't need that. Like the everything is so light when it gets going, it doesn't require the same thing. So you could just throw it on a nice like wobbly kitchen table or something like that if you
Yeah.
wanted. Um
Yeah.
but like we're to a point, and we were talking about this the other day, IRL, as we do. But like 3D printing is easy.
it it's become easy,
Yeah.
compared to the early days. Like, I had the acrylic fire ridden, um what the heck was that thing, the my first printer
Yeah. I even
uh
forget what that was. It was an i3 like G-Tech something. Or
no,
not
it wasn't
G-Tech.
G-Tech, but yeah, it was the one that caught fire, and you had to be, because only had a 12-volt power supply and whatnot, so you had to make sure that you had enough big enough wires and everything. Like, it's come so far. Like, they've evolved so far that they're now, you know you don't worry about it burning down your house.
Yeah, and like so they're safer, which is great, right? Like also that original one took you, yeah, well, like it was already put together, but then it probably took 8 hours to take it apart and like figure it
I
out.
think so. I think it had maybe half an hour of printing on it because they tried to print ABS on it
Mm,
because they didn't know any better.
mhm.
It didn't have, back those things didn't have an all metal hot end, so you really shouldn't have been printing ABS. So I had to basically rebuild the entire hot end on that
Yeah,
thing. I think Vince had a nozzle for me at the time
yeah,
because
he did. Yeah, that's right.
there was nowhere around that I knew of at the time to get a nozzle, and I managed to get one that would work in it. I changed up the power supply from one that would catch fire to ATX power supply with multiple power leads going out of it, so I can get a decent amount of amperage over a
Yep.
larger conductor, so it wouldn't burn up the freaking printer. So
And this like that kind of stuff just doesn't happen no more.
well, I mean, there are issues with manufacturing. Like the A1 had the bed issue with the strain relief and whatnot,
Mhm.
but they corrected that fairly quickly and whatnot. And so those things get addressed now if they are an issue immediately because you're not making hundreds of them anymore. Because that the one I had, maybe there is 1,000 made, maybe 2,000, but we're talking millions of printers are being produced now.
Mhm. And the Gary asked, is David using the laser to make and sell things? Lawn mass, not really. But we have done a few commission kind of things. I treat it like the 3D printers. I'm not gonna open an Etsy shop selling flexible dragons. There's already 50 other people doing that. And
that
they
that they don't have the right to sell,
thousand. Yeah,
but we
exactly.
won't get into that.
But like yes, we have done projects where um we've charged a bit just
A lot
because.
of it is hobby stuff that you and your wife enjoy, right?
Well, yeah, that's just it. Like at Christmas, we'll crank off Christmas decorations and like gifts and all that stuff, and like we're giving it away. We don't charge. Um, like obviously, if it's stuff we're gifting, we won't charge recipient. That'd be silly. That's $50.
Hey, that's a good deal.
Merry Merry Christmas.
Look at this great gift I got you. You owe me $100, man.
Not this year. Like we've talked about it, and maybe one year we'll go to a craft show. Who knows? I know Raymond does a lot of
His wife
that.
has a business, right?
Yeah, they have tables at lots of craft shows, and
They do some nice stuff too.
yeah, and teach like, and that's what they like doing. Like I think like printing wise, Greg and I have both printed stuff for people. And they ask laser wise, I will do it. I've crafted some games and stuff that I could sell for probably like $15 and make $6 on. And that's the thing, my time is worth more than $6.
Yeah.
So
It's a hobby. It's something enjoyable. It's something to do to learn because there's for me, I enjoy the engineering side of things. Like I'm not an engineer. I play one on YouTube.
I
Not a
play
very
one
good
on
one.
YouTube.
But
Uh,
I enjoy the creativity of the engineering process using, CAD and whatnot to design and build stuff. I like the creativity piece, and it's very satisfying to have a device like a 3D printer and print something that you've conceptualized and it comes out as an object right away. It's like,
mhm.
wow, we're in Star Trek, right? It's
We're
getting
living
there.
in the future. And like we are living in the future, like of 3D printing now, because like it used to be like I'm gonna take all this time to design this one little piece, or go that one step further. I'm gonna take the time to learn how, like you said, like Clipper works or Marlin works. You don't got to do that anymore. It's been done for you. And Dominic has a really good statement that kind of like sums kind of like that idea. And that's at one time you had to be a bit of a mechanic if you wanted to own an automobile. Then they came out with the Model T, right?
Well,
And
Model T is like almost pre-ender.
yeah,
'Cause-
well, if you're talking
'cause-
printers, it's pre-ender for sure. Um, but
but
thankfully
but
they
that's
didn't.
a really solid point. Like even cars nowadays, they you want to get in and you just want to use them.
Mhm.
You don't want to know how it works necessarily. I want to know how it works because I'm interested in that kind of thing. But the average person wants to go from point A to point B.
Yeah, and that's just it. You're talking about um like there's always been two sides to the hobby, and one is I want to work on the mechanical side of a 3D printer. I want to tinker, I want to make this better, I want to iterate. And then there's the side that Bamboo Lab figured out that most people actually fit into that camp, and that's even if they are a tinkerer, they'll buy one of these, and then like that other printer that they tinker on now just sits in the corner.
I honestly, I love my, Blue Thunder and Bumblebee and Kit and everything.
Mhm.
I I don't use them in like I do my Bamboo. And I'm sure your K1 is the same way. It gets used like crazy,
Oh yeah, my K1
right?
and the Bamboo Labs are generally always there's always something on the bill plate because someone doesn't clear the bill plate with their time.
We don't know who that someone is,
I'm just kidding. It's fine.
but yeah, it's one of those things. Like it's good and it's bad because now I got a bunch of printers that I'm not using because this one's just so convenient and so quick.
hmm
So
And
it's
like I've given some away. I've sold some. I've uh one of our friends really like the Delta printer, and that's where that one went. Um I like once you have like and I think Dominic knows this because of the Cootie tech he just got.
yes,
And
he's
I
been
think
printing
Gary had
one.
A series. I don't remember exactly, but like once you go to those QD Tech or the KO2 or the P series or X series in Babu, um, it's hard to go back because you're printing your parts in 10 minutes.
You don't get your spaghetti instances go way down.
They still happen.
Yeah,
and
no,
and
you can
pizza
still get
fingers are a
failures.
thing, you touch the bill plate too much.
You can still get failures.
Yeah.
So there that's going to be a part of 3D printing. Like you don't clean the build bed correctly, or you maybe whatever. There could be a million and one reasons why your print fails. That can still happen,
And
but
it's lower,
yes,
very
much
much
lower.
lower. And then like catastrophic failures, I mean, knock on wood, I've seen two of about the 30 maybe K1Cs that we have floating around now, yeah, at our job. I've only seen two that have been really like forked. One required a new nozzle and hot end,
Yeah.
and one first, I don't know how it happened, but the filament went corkscrewy. Like it was a spring when you took it out, and I'm like, oh,
Wow.
okay.
I had one the other day. Went over to the gal's office. She wasn't there. I had a look, and I think it had been sitting all summer, and hot, cold, hot, cold. I think it was mashed in. The filament wasn't removed, So it
Mm.
was mashed in the gears all summer, and I think the shape of the filament changed. And so the gears were just spinning and not pushing the filament through. So I just had to release it. And it wasn't brittle or anything. I just had to release it, heat it up, pull it out, snip it, put it back in, print it. You know,
And
so
that's fair. I mean, and that's a simple fix, right?
yep.
Easy, quick, done, out. My Bamboo Lab, I did. I switched out the hot end on my P1S, so it had the all metal stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So now, besides the screen and the LiDAR, it's basically, and honestly, I have not missed the LiDAR one iota on like I know what it does. I've seen it work,
Mm-hmm.
but I've never actually I haven't missed it because like we have one, the one that we use at work ish. Um like that one has LiDAR on it, the K1 Max.
Right.
I like when some of the comments on the LiDAR stuff are great. It's like, you sure this just isn't a flashlight? 'Cause-
Well, and I think they put it on because they thought it would enhance performance and whatnot, and I think it did a bit. Like it definitely does work, but I don't know if the 1 or 2% you get was worth the extra cost of the lidar. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah. And like if there's another feature, like so I do feel like if you are a person who doesn't want to use the handy app on your phone, or you like having like the like a tactile, the X1C screen is a good selling feature
Mhm.
compared to the P1S screen, which is basically just enough to update the firmware when they push it.
Yeah.
Dominic says he put 10 spools uh to his new printer, and that's impressive. I don't think I've put 10 spools through my printer in the time you've had that printer.
Yeah, he's really enjoying that printer. Well, I mean, talking about the evolution of the entire industry that we've been covering now for, I think it's close to 6 years, right? I think it was 2019.
Yeah, this will
Okay.
be the start of the sixth.
Yeah. Um, we've been briefly talking, but the channel we think needs to evolve a bit too, because we I mean, when was the last time you made a Marlin video, David?
Mm, yeah, let's take that one step further. When's the last time there was any video?
Yeah, we've been doing mostly live streams and haven't put out like content. I think if I look back, it was like 2 years ago when
2
I
years.
put out a
Yeah,
content video.
2 years ago and about 65 pounds.
Shh.
Um,
But but
yeah.
yeah, I mean, we've been doing this a while. We're not abandoning anything, but
No,
we
we'll
want
be
to
here.
evolve it because, I mean, David, you've got tons of lasers, stuff. You've got, I've got a CNC. You've got a CNC. There's lots of other stuff that we're interested in. You pointed out the other day that I like nerdy electric stuff.
Mhm, mhm.
So there's lots of stuff, and you know um I think maybe we'll have to take a bunch of this offline to finalize some stuff, but the channel will be evolving. It won't only be 3D printing. I think
Mhm. It's going to grow.
the
Um,
make it part and whatnot, the creative side, I think is what will be more of the focus moving forward.
yeah, and like we definitely want your guys' input in all of this. So if you're watching right now, if you're on the Discord, if you go to www.3dmakeit.ca, you can grab emails to send to us to drop.
Info at 3dmakeit.ca.
And we don't have for sure strong vision, but
No, not yet.
like great, like the video we built on supports as an example, that was probably 5 years ago. It's still the same. You're right. Like that's the cool thing about this hobby is the the meat and the potatoes. It hasn't changed. And the theory remains. It's something that you can, as once you gain that knowledge, you can keep it. And we're happy that we we put stuff out there. The channel, my conception was an awful lot about. There's a ton of YouTubers out there, and I won't criticize any of them. I still watch all of them. I quite enjoy them. But one shtick is he prints big stuff, right? And then another shtick is he prints little stuff, and then the other guy prints resin stuff. But nobody really had. There's one person I could think of off the top of my head, and that was Chris Riley. But nobody really had like lots of deep dives into firmware or even like some of the slicer settings.
Explanation videos for the technical nerdy side of things, right?
So that's kind of where we landed to start with, and I feel like during like live streams and stuff, we'll still have like a little bit of the, so this is new, you should check it out, right? That won't go away, but we will maybe have like, hey, check out this light burn trick I learned. And if it's like a video worthy, or even, Gary was asking about like what we do with the laser, or what we do with, and I think that's going to become more prevalent, to keep the channel kind of like on a path that is good for all of us. So we are not going anywhere. We are just
Evolve.
I don't even know if we're rebranding. That's not even what we're doing.
No. I think that 3D Make It covers. I mean, maybe we can rebrand, the logo if we wanted to, but other than that, making and the whole hobby as a whole, you know, it still fits, right? So
100%. And I feel like there's a lot that we can offer to in the space. Like, you want to set up Linux, but running a slicer, well, maybe we show you how to do that, right? Like, and we will take it to a place where we'll still have some of this, some of the same. It'll be like a warm hug coming home after work. But
and we haven't settled
there
on times or anything like when this is going to happen. We haven't settled on, are we still going to be on Sundays? Probably.
I think so. But
and what time?
yeah,
Could be at 11, could be at 2. I don't know. Maybe we're
no matter what time we pick, a time change is coming for us anyway, so it's going to be different for you.
So either way, it'll mess everyone up. Like 10 o'clock will be like 2 or something for someone somewhere.
Okay, I forget. Is it in November when it? No.
Yeah, it's the second week in November, I think.
Yeah, that seems so late to do it. Hopefully that's done one day, everybody, and we don't have to do that. No,
we can keep wishing. It'll be like our third bridge. It's always coming.
It's coming. Here. It's been in the works since 1981.
Since 1974, since they put the first or second bridge in.
Well, lots has changed over there. They at least they have a grocery store now.
Multiple, actually. But yeah.
Truth.
But so I think we covered a lot of stuff today. I'm glad, like, how we did. I told everyone how my summer was and kind of the stuff I did. How was your summer, David?
It was great. No offense to everybody that's watching this, but I ignored you for all of the summer because I wasn't here, and that was amazing. I spent all of it out where We camp. There was no smoke this year. There
Yeah.
was no 36-degree days this year.
Yeah, it was a very, nice summery summer, not
Mhm.
nice blistering hot summer. Like,
Yeah, it was great to get out and do nothing. I did a lot of projects at the trailer um this year, which was great. We had the opportunity to work on stuff. I had the opportunity to replace a flat tire. See how I spun that? It was way better.
Such an opportunity.
Lifting a 10,000-pound trailer to change a tire.
So fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The little jack sunk into the dirt. It was great. But no, yeah, it was my time this summer was great. We got to reflect a lot on, just taking some us time, me time, and the work schedule isn't too bad. And we might actually be working on like bringing some videos on some drones, and I could see the robot doggies because we got some stuff coming up where we're gonna have a bit of time because of a thing that we could do at work. So
That's not a bad idea. Just show off some of that stuff. That would
yeah,
be a nice thing to do. And those could be independent videos that we just put out.
yeah,
Like just do a quick
or short
uh,
or something
thing,
like that. We never done
yeah.
one of those. Might as well try.
Right? Yeah.
But yeah, so life's okay. We made it through the summer. We're back again, and my camera works now.
Yay. Well, I think that we should probably thank some people, David.
Probably, I don't know how many, but thank you, patrons.
Yeah. And I think our Patreon will slowly evolve over time. I don't know, like, I mean, if you guys joined us because of the 3D printing and don't feel that the changes that are coming up are going to fit, that's fine. we you know
yeah. At
it's
no
we
point do you have to feel obligated to
no no
any of that.
because we understand that you got a certain value, and if you don't feel you're getting it anymore, or maybe you'll get more of a value and more people will join.
Well, and
We don't
ideally,
know yet,
that's the hope. Like,
right?
we don't want to take any of the value away, which
Yeah,
is going to be something we're very mindful, and we will talk to our current patrons
yeah.
as we have ideas and stuff too, as our I
We'll
forget what they
collab
call
and
those
figure it out.
people, the sample group.
But
That it?
thanks to everyone, all the patrons. Thank you so much for your support over these many years. It's been awesome having you here. It's has paid for the streaming software and whatnot we have
Mhm.
and whatnot. So which is actually going to be renewing right away here at $200 and some, and I don't know that we have that much in our account.
It's fine because we can do something else. Because
So
this software sometimes makes me wanna
throw
cry.
it through the wall.
Yeah, we'll figure something else there. I had this crazy thought, okay, ready? Other than my current actual job, this 3D Make It is probably the longest other commitment that I've kept going.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair
So
enough.
yeah, like don't feel obligated, but Patreon is there, patreon.com/3D Make It.
Yep.
If you want to come hang out, we do have a Discord that's attached to that.
I
And
think and we had talked about making it non-exclusive, and we haven't done it yet. So that's
there is a
something.
non-exclusive channel. We just haven't shared it now.
Yeah, and so we'll probably just have to open that up
Yeah.
and whatnot, because we have been talking about that, and then everyone can communicate there. So we'll have changes over the next little while. We don't know if we'll have a stream every Sunday yet, because we haven't figured out what's going on. We've got stuff coming up in the next couple of weeks with work stuff. We've got some conferences and stuff. So we'll see how the schedule shakes out, right, David?
100%. And I mean, there's maker people at these conferences too, so
Yep.
maybe we'll figure some more stuff out to bring content. But as we go, remember we love you all. Aw. So stick with us, and we will stick with you. And keep an eye on the YouTube for when we go live. Like click the bells, the little bell and the
Yep.
subscribe thing.
Subscribe, like.
If you
and
don't
all
want to
that
hit the
stuff.
subscribe thing, that's fine. Just hit the bell.
Yeah, that's true.
Because then you know when we're here.
Yeah.
But thanks to everybody that's here. You've been great. And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.